quest for some significance of the both dimensional kind. You enter a realm of spirit, of sight and sound and mind. Your radio is a cosmic doorway and your psyche begins to spark. When you tune in to Gary Anderson and Night Dreams After Dark.
If you would like to hear Night Dreams Talk Radio on your local radio station, let them know. Tell them to check out www.nightdreamstalkradio.com, and thank you.
The views, opinions, and representations expressed on the Night Dreams Talk Radio Network and its website are those of the hosts, guests, and participants, and are not necessarily those of or endorsed by the network, its affiliated stations and broadcasts, the management, other hosts, or advertisers of the network. The shows found on the Night Dreams Talk Radio Network can, but do not necessarily, promote any particular lifestyle, belief, religion, political affiliation, or other personal practice. These shows are for entertainment purposes only, and are not intended to treat, diagnose, and or claim any cure of disease or condition, or give any medical or legal advice. Night Dreams Talk Radio, After Dark, wants to give a big shout out to all the truckers that listen to our show. From our compound, from the West Coast to the East Coast to worldwide, both on the internet and terrestrial radio, you're listening to Gary Anderson on Night Dreams Talk Radio, After Dark.
And it is after dark, so that is not a lie. Anyway, well, I hope everybody had a great work day at work. And James, how you doing, my friend?
I'm doing good, Gary. How you been? And, you know, like I always say, let's get this paranormal party started.
Paranormal, what's that? Well, you know we are a conspiracy show. Why are you talking about paranormal on a conspiracy show?
Well, let's get this conspiracy party started. You're silly.
No, we are a paranormal show. I just wanted to kind of like make you go, you know?
Didn't work. I seen the future. I knew you was going to say it, so I already was ready.
You know, 1776 was another bad year.
Oh, why? Because everybody died. Gee,
You shot my joke down.
dang it. Anyway, tell me more.
Well, actually, it's quite good because they sell flags every year for it. Anyway, what can I say? I mean, do you have a paranormal story of like time travel or UFOs or the guy who, well, ate a cell phone, which I'll talk about after you do your first thing.
This guy ate his cell phone. Anyway, there's a alien message, and there's a Thai temple. And I guess aliens been visiting this Thai temple, and they predict, well, I don't know if it's not a prediction, they told the future, and supposedly there's going to be World War III in 2022. Now, I don't know if that's the kind of information you want, or if this, but the people, it's a Buddhist temple, and they've been visiting this Buddhist temple since 1997. And one of the claims that the people that they've been talking to is that they predict World War III in 2022.
I don't believe it. You know why? All these time travelers, have been for years, right? They've been coming back and say, 1995, the world's going to come to an end. Then somebody comes back in 1997, we're going to be in a world war with the Soviet Union. Then 2000 comes around. I've been hearing stuff like this. We're going to hear, you want to buy some space in a cave?
Sure, especially if I can get a gross on it.
You can get a good deal. Go to Cashiers, North Carolina. I'm sure there's a cave there. But be careful you don't go into the cave. Well, there's those aliens that barbecue humans. You don't want to go there.
Well, they're there to serve man.
I guess they are, aren't they? Well,
yeah, they are.
I want Hunt's barbecue sauce.
Well, aren't you a picky eater?
Can you believe a guy called 911? 999 times the police came out and he destroyed the evidence. Well, he didn't destroy it. He kind of hid the evidence. You know how he did that?
Oh, I got to know. How did he hide the evidence?
Well, it's not what you said before we went on the air, I'll tell you that. But I can tell you this. He swallowed his phone. Now, how do you swallow a cell phone? I couldn't even think about that. I think you would choke to death. But he swallowed his cell phone.
I guess he did it very carefully. I got to tell you, maybe it was one of them old fold-up ones that are kind of small, but I don't know how you would get that down your throat. My goodness. So how did they find it? They dial the number in his stomach?
I don't know. He did it in front of the police when they were there. He goes, hey, okay, arrest me. You have no evidence. And he swallowed the phone. I don't know. It's better than what that nurse did.
I'm not even going to go there with that one. If anybody wants to know, just watch Curb Your Enthusiasm, Larry David, when he was in the hospital and the nurse stole his phone.
Okay. In Florida, typically, it's always something every night about Florida. A man gets arrested. He was trying to be nice to alligators. He was trying to get an alligator drunk, and they arrested him for it. Now, what's wrong with getting an alligator drunk?
I don't know. Maybe he had crocodile love on the mind. It just sounds suspicious, though. Maybe I don't know. I'm sure he had some nefarious plans set up. Why? First of all, he must have been drunk, and maybe he just needed a drinking partner.
I don't know. I could certainly find something that's more handier than alligator to get drunk with.
Yeah, I wonder how he fed that daggone thing. Put a tube down his throat or pop a top. And
probably every time the alligator tried biting his leg off, he poured a bottle of vodka down it. I don't know. It doesn't say that.
That's crazy. Only in Florida. Oh, my goodness.
And a guy, right? It's like 100 and some degrees going through the desert, right? And the guy opens up a 39-cent bottle of water. A cop sees him drinking and driving. He gets pulled over and gets a $173 ticket.
But you're not allowed to drink water and drive?
Well, in some states, even in my state here, you can't use a cell phone in your hand while you're driving. Technically, they can arrest you or give you a fine if you're eating anything. So if you go into a fast food restaurant like a lot of people do, right? And then they take off and they're biting and eating their French fries while they're driving. Hey, if a cop is in a bad mood, there's a good-sized ticket for you.
That is just, when does the ridiculousness stop with the citations of these crazy little laws or whatever? I can tell you this much. I can I can look back at all the women I've seen, no offense, at stoplights or whatever, putting their makeup on, and that's, I would think, would be more dangerous than take a sip of water. I mean, maybe the guy was tired and that would wake him up. It wasn't like it was alcohol.
Hey, now see, you're being sexist here. You said about a woman putting the makeup on in the mirror, you know, like they're at the stoplight or they're driving and they're putting their lipstick on and combing their hair, right? But hey, there's guys that do the same thing, so you're being sexist.
Well, it's same for the guys. If a guy's sitting at a stoplight putting his lipstick on and combing his hair, you know, that is dangerous. And texting, I'm all for that. But drinking water, that's I don't know. That's just being nitpicky. That reminds me of the cop when you get pulled over, you haven't did nothing, but he comes up with this big old mag light, and he busts out your tail light and says, "Well, you got a tail light. I'm going to have to give you a ticket." They're just going to make things. They're going to make you get a ticket one way or another.
Or they pull you over and you say, "Officer, why am I being pulled over?" Well, we just had a car like yours reported stolen. Yeah, but how many 1959 Edsels officers are driving on the road right now that can even drive? And you're sitting there saying somebody stole my car? Come on. You know, when I was 19 years old or 18 years old, I had a 63 Nova. And I put a spoiler on the back. I dropped the 6-cylinder engine out. I put a Corvette 327 in it. I jacked it up. I put all these racing decals, like a young kid would do, 18 years old. Maybe I was even 17 or whatever. And I put all these racing stickers all over the car, two-toned it with racing stripes and all this stuff. I'm driving around the neighborhood. And all of a sudden, like 3 Seattle cops pull me over. And, they're having me lean against the car with my hands up on, and everything, and they're frisking me, and I'm going, why am I being pulled over? I wasn't even speeding. Oh, the car was just reported stolen, just like yours. And I'm going, oh, yeah, come on. There's not another car like this in the whole country. And you're sitting there saying there's a 63 Nova with racing stripes, a spoiler in the back, jacked up in the back, and all this stickers over it like this, and a hood scoop and all this stuff. There's another one of these in the area? Come on.
Yeah, that was definitely a one of. I years and years ago, I had a Chevy van, and it was kind of had a racing motor in it, but it was loud, but not loud. It was legal. And I'm going through this little town at 5 a.m, going to a flea market or something, and it's this little town in Massachusetts, and the cop pulls me over, and I rolled down the window, and he comes up there, and I never said a word. He just went off on me, cussing and calling and yelling, and it was echoing through the town. And when he was done, I said, "Well, good morning, officer." And he got even madder for some reason. He gave me a big old $175 ticket. Funny part was I went the next week to this court in this little town. I won't mention the town, but it was a little house. The house was the court, and you walk into like a living room. Into the next living room, there was a door, and you can hear them in there, guilty, guilty. I go in there. I had receipts the week before, brand new exhaust. The guy says, "Hey, Merry Christmas, don't worry about it, no charges." But it was just the pain and the hassle of all of it.
Yeah, well, yeah, sometimes they're pulling over, harassing you. Another time, well, I was quite a bit older, and I bought a Corvette. And I have to admit, where I lived at, I like driving really fast. Okay, and I was on back roads in the farming area and all that stuff where I was living at the time. So I would have a tendency, I liked those dips in the road because I would take these dips and then they would go up, and then I could actually get a little bit of air off the car, it kind of fly in the air and then come back down. It was fun. And one day I go to work and I get on the main road to get back to the town where I worked at. And all of a sudden, a state police pulled me over. And I said, "Officer, I wasn't speeding." He goes, "I know." And I go, "Okay, well, you can go now." So I drive another couple miles. I get pulled over by another state patrol. And I go, "Officer, I'm not speeding," because definitely I was making sure I wasn't speeding after the first stop. And the guy goes, "Yeah, I don't think you were speeding." Well, have a nice day. True story. I go maybe another couple miles. I get pulled over again. Okay.